Hello, wonderful people. All right, today I want to talk about the dream of being unburdened. All right, actually, I woke up with this image in my head about that because this is something I've been really thinking about for the longest time. Ever since I started my healing journey, or like my awakening, you could say. Um, because ever since I was little, or more like when I went to school, I had some inkling that there are two Kahirs, right? There's this unburdened one, like when I'm on stage, because I always loved acting. I did it as much as I could, like in high school, even before high school. Like um, we did like Zatkil, my twin brother. We were in a play, but I always loved it. It was just like it was something intuitively I knew like I need to do it. Um, and whenever I was on stage, I felt like alive, like really alive. It's hard to say in them. Even like in my senior year, I wrote like we had this thing. It was called like one acts, and you could write your own play as a director. I got like a standing ovation. It was that one of the most magical moments in my life. Seeing people appreciate your vision, it's just amazing. And I felt that also when I was performing in my improv group in Mixed Nuts. I had the same feeling, so I know I'm on the right path. It's something like it's hard to describe in words when you're like you're fully connected with all that is with the love of God flowing through you. That's what acting for me is, especially improv, right? Because improv forces you to be in the present moment, in the holy instant, right? And there's the burdened Kahir, the one that was traumatized, the one that learned very like had a very low self concept of himself, his out of whack nervous system, you know. And I would demonize this burdened self of me, like, whoa, why aren't I like him all? Like, I even remember I did this summer camp, Angloville, and this well meaning, she was one of the other counselors there. She saw I did improv, and she saw how different I was as a person. That I was so open, extroverted, laughing, smiling. And when I wasn't doing it, I was, polite, reserved. And she's like, be more like improv, Kahir. And that really resonated, but in like a painful way. And I was like, I want to be improv Kahir. I want to, but I don't know what's stopping me. And I'm not saying I'm improv Kahir all the time. I'm more and more, more and more. That is the goal. Um, I don't think I need to be like extrovert or anything like that per se. Just being more open and being in the holy instant. That's more of the what I'm working on. But I would guilt and shame myself for not being improv Kahir. Like I had to like tune on the switch. But I think it's accepting both of my dual natures like that. Um, but certainly I don't want to be burdened. um, okay, what did I say? Oh, um, yeah, even David Hoffmeister, like one of the greatest teachers on the course that makes videos. He was talking about improv, like how it's all about being in a holy instant. You're here right now. Your past, there are no chains of the past. You're just here and now. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's why I love it so much. Um, but I'm not going to deny like the years of conditioning that we go through, right? I watched this YouTube channel recently. It's like Marina Karlova or something like that. Talks about like I think we have like 20,000 hours of schooling or something like that, where we're forced to be in a place, learn things we don't want to do, be obedient, and how that affects the mind. And also with me, like if going back home and having a very stressful, angry environment, like not knowing when I would get love. I that's the thing I didn't want to look at. I'm not trying to demonize my parents because they were just trying their best, but you know, intention doesn't equal impact. That's what you learn about Healthy Gamer, right? The amount of vitriol I received for like very small things, like the outbursts of anger. I don't know if you guys had something like this where your parents could get angry, scream, call you names all the time, but if you get angry, then you're the problem. You know, that's that's what I grew up with. That the burdened self. And I watched this video about like the scapegoats. Um, I'm not a psychologist, and all these like new terminology are like coming into me. But there's something about scapegoating where uh, like the parents blame the child for their problems or whatever. I'm not sure if I was the scapegoat per se, but I from scapegoated. I don't know if I shared this story, but I'll share it again because these are important moments. And okay, I know the course teaches the past is over, can touch me not, but I do feel like there's something important for me to share these memories, so I'm going to share them anyway. Um, so my dad took us to the park district to find out where our middle school was. Because he didn't know. This is the time before like GPS. Well, and so he went to the park district and he asked the receptionist like, "Oh, where's this middle school?" And me and Zatkil, my brother, we're just playing. We're just having a cool time. And then Tata got so lost. He was driving right. I guess he didn't know. He didn't follow the directions. And instead of taking responsibility, like, oh, I didn't. He's like, why didn't you? I brought you there to listen to the directions. Like, I was like 10 years old. I didn't know what the directions were. It's so much, this is the thing with my family. Not a lot of taking responsibility for their problems, but like us, we had to take full responsibility. You know, yeah. There's something to it. There's something to it because it's all connected, right? It's all connected. That's why the spirit guided me to, to the dream that to help me recognize I was abandoning myself, see PTSD, these memories, you know, because these videos are for spiritual people like me, but they feel blocked, right? And the block of love, and I think the block of love could be the way how we were raised, right? The thought forms, the beliefs that were formed during childhood that feel like really hard to break, but they can be broken, right? Well, because like the person I was at 20, that level of consciousness is totally different. This is why I'm making these videos because I was very sensitive, but overly sensitive, as in anything could set me off because I was in fight or flight a lot of the time. Very low self concept, very low self esteem. Felt unsupported. I keep saying this, but yeah, I don't want that for anybody. No, I don't. That's why I'm making. I have to like justify these videos. I'm not justifying. I'm just. This is for you, and you know who you are. All right. But the course teaches us to extend love. Right. Well, first we must be of this love, be of this frequency. Um, doesn't have to necessarily like feel it fully. However, like even having that intention, like I'm here to extend love, in whatever form it takes. Like I was at my best friend's party, Yannick, and he was like we were bowling, and I had these feelings of social anxiety that I do like in group settings. Like but I touched my heart. I took some deep breaths. I'm like, okay, how can I extend love? And I knew it's just focus on one person, talk to him. I actually talked to this really cool guy who's like French American, so we had something to relate. But like being outsiders, not wanting to go back to the States, not feeling American, but not feeling he didn't feel French. I didn't feel 100% Polish. So it was really really cool. How spirit brings people like that together. But if I was in my head and I was just feeling anxiety, I wouldn't, and I didn't have this course teaching about extending love. I wouldn't have done it. Right. That's why I look at now at all social situations as opportunity to extend love. Of course, I have better times than not, but that has really helped me reframe social situations instead of something like very stressful. I'm still working on it for sure, but when I have that mindset, it's a lot easier to be. And in the past, I guess I was like, what do you go? Selfish, egotistical about it. Like, well, what am I getting from this social situation? Which with boundaries, of course, you don't want to be in a social situation that you don't get anything from it. Like if you're surrounded by like toxic people, but um, but then I wasn't thinking what how can I give? How can I be of service? You know. What else do I have here? Being okay if you are burdened, and this is the switch because this is with what I've recognized from Healthy Gamer is when I am feeling burdened, I am feeling like this toxic shame spiral. It's time to heal, right? And I don't know. So I know you're out there. I know maybe you abandon yourself too, and you rake yourself over the coals, and you're harsh on yourself because you have these high standards. But that's the time actually to turn inwards and to heal and to soothe yourself and to like be like, it's okay, it's okay. And no matter what's happening, right? Whether circumstance that makes you feel like you're the dumbest idiot on the planet. No, you're not. You are as perfect as God created you. You are as perfect as God created you. You know, and if you have the opportunity to take time for yourself to process your emotions and to soothe yourself and to get into more alignment, into a more positive state, then do it, right? Because you are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. I know. I know that you need to hear this. All right. Because if we judge our burdened selves, like, oh, we are wrong, I shouldn't be feeling this way, I shouldn't have done that. What is that? Just a judgment, right? The Course teaches us to be non judgmental, right? Be loving, accepting. This is what actual unconditional love is accepting unconditionally. Unconditionally. Even if you feel like you made the stupidest mistake ever, you feel like you had weeks in advance, oh, you should have known better. There's no reason to abandon the self. There is no reason to abandon the self. There is no reason to abandon the self. And I'm saying this out of the most love and care for you. Because I've been there, I've been in the trenches, and I know I've came up with a million reasons why it's good to abandon the self. To call myself a piece of shit. I should have known better. You're a yo up of, whatever. No, no, no. It's time to end it, guys, right? It's time to end this cycle of contempt, this contemptuous relationship. It's not what the Holy Spirit wants for us. The Holy Spirit wants us to love ourselves unconditionally, but He understands where we are. It's not. It's really hard when you're in the trenches to go into into darkness, to go fully into the light. But like I said, even taking the smallest step, saying, maybe my situation's okay. Maybe I'm okay where I am. Maybe things are gonna get better. Maybe I'm not so bad as I think I am. You know what? Maybe I am as perfect as God created me. I am as perfect as God created me. You see? This is what I want for you guys. Right? There's no excuse under the sun to abandon ourselves. None. No grade, no money in your bank account, nothing. No reason to abandon the self. As you are loved, supported, and carried by all that is. Always. Always. Right? The biggest illusion we have is that we are separate from all that is. We're separate from Source. We're separate from the Holy Spirit. All right? This is where all the fear comes from, to believe in we're separate. I know, and sometimes we do feel very disconnected, right? But it's an illusion. It's an illusion. It can never be. We can never not, like, we can never separate from all that is. And this is going back to improv about saying yes, right? And embracing mistakes. And this is why I love it so much, because the burdened self would be like, oh, this is a mistake. This defines me. Oh, I'm so bad. Look at this mistake I've made. But improv is saying yes and actually mistakes. There's like this Japanese philosophy I forgot. It's like where something's broken, you repair it with gold, and it looks better. That's the kind of like improv in a bit. That you embrace the mistakes, and the scenes are way funnier when you address mistakes and you like put it into the scene. Like our recent show, one of our cast members forgot like this word in English, and she said it in French. It was like, "Oh, the couchette," and then I I used the word again, like, "Oh, look, right, see, it's right in the couchette." Or one of my favorite ones. was this was like one of our first festival performances, and um, we were like in the Żabka, which is like a Polish 7-Eleven, if you're not familiar, like a convenience store. And it's like, I had this scene, I was like, what are you doing? You're a security guard. And I'm like, there's no security guards in the convenience store. Like, because it's a high class Żabka. And it made the scene for me, 10 times better. I think it added a lot, right? And that's such a more empowering, loving state of being, because it's what Bashar talks about, like um, positive energy is inclusive, negative is exclusive, right? So when yes, and we even include the burden self, we include the mistakes. That's yeah, that's healing. That's healing, right? Because I spent so long just running away from my burdened self. Be like, oh, there's something wrong with him. Like I have to fix him instead of like, no, I need to love him. Right? All sin is a call for love. All attack is a call for love. Right? Even when we attack ourselves, and if you're listening to this, you probably have ways of like attacking the self, abandoning the self. Right? It's a call to love. It's a call to love to yourself, and all you have to do is answer that call. Answer the call to love yourself, right? Because I did the opposite. I dug that hole deeper and be like, no, 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 I need to keep attacking. I need to cap. But this is insanity. This is insanity, right? Not saying this out of judgment, but it's if all is one, right? Then you're just hitting yourself in the head. Like there's one person in the room and you're just hitting him. Like why, right? Right? Because you believe in separation. You believe in guilt and shame to get what you want, and those are short term motivators, but eventually you're going to burn out because it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable, right? The everlasting love of the Holy Spirit, that is true sustainability. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, do things out of love. Do things out of love. And I know it's simple, but this is what the Holy Spirit teaches us about simplicity. The ego is complexity, right? Do things out of love, right? And if we love ourselves, of course, we're going to take care of ourselves. It just goes hand in hand, right? But if we believe in these fear, guilt, and shame thoughts, of course, we're going to attack ourselves. If we believe we're separate from all that is, right? All right. I hope that resonated with you guys. All right. That's it. Take care.